So really, this is just talking about creating the value for the data. I'm going to skip through. So we do have two divisions within our company. One is professional services and one is healthcare. And it talks about here how we create a set of data, looking at the data and create metrics around productivity ratio, nurse ratio, or case margin, variable cost, or operating margin and capital recovery. And you'll see there is a healthcare provider market we are touching here, and I'll talk about that as well. Even though you are not a hospital, we do have a hospital solution, so I can share with you what we've done so far in the hospital system and how we can possibly replicate that for long-term care. So there's a quality, value, financial profitability analysis, contract care negotiation. So these are some of the metrics which we monitor. How we built a solution is, Maria, here. We built a data model. We build a warehouse, which would be a warehouse or a mini mart. We collect the data based upon, and the reason I was asking you questions is because based upon where your data sits, you can either consolidate that data in a small mini mart or build a warehouse. So we come in as data experts to build that warehouse for you, create a data model, and build dashboards. Now this can be custom or it could be pre-built. We have a pre-built solution, and I'll share with you. All of that might not replicate to what you might be looking for, but it'll give you a flavor of our experience. And then please stop me, and if you want to share something with me, feel free to do so. So this is really where our expertise comes in. We've built a solution for healthcare provider market in two versions, Tableau and Oracle, and I'll talk about that as I go along, and I'll show you some of the PowerPoint slides to give you a flavor of it. Tableau and Oracle BI, they both are on the Gartner BI leaders and have a lot of data visualization and drill down capabilities, which helps you drill into the real-time data to understand what your data is telling you. So we've been in business for now, actually this year it will be 18 years. We've been in business for a long time. And we have expertise around data management, business intelligence, data warehousing, and system integration. We have 120 engineers who are 10 years or more background specifically into technologies mentioned, as I mentioned earlier. So our experts are focused on understanding how data works, and then looking at different systems to integrate that data and make sense out of that data. We've touched multiple industries, so we had experience in financial services, healthcare, CPG, higher ed, manufacturing, and we think that it helps in the different industries understand how best they can look at their numbers. So we bring a lot of it, cross-fertilize our intelligence from different industries to bring a newer view to what we built for our customers. So you won't only see us doing healthcare. We do bring, as I said, expertise from different industries to make sure you get the exposure of the best of the breed in that area, looking at your data analytics solution. So what we specialize in, we specialize in integrating the data from different sources. So it could be sitting in flat files, it could be your mainframe, it could be your ERP solutions, and then we could consolidate that data. It could be your historical data, your current data, the data that is changing constantly into a centralized, consolidated store. It could be data mart, data warehouse, and then we built ad hoc reporting capabilities, so you can really go on and say, you know, I have so many patients, and what's my billing looks like, and what my profitability looks like, and where am I missing uncollected charges, and why. So you can drill down into it and kind of drag and drop using the technology to pull your metrics. And then you can build a dashboard for your executive team. So you can have a CEO or your CFO looking at your iPad or iPhone and, you know, scroll through the different reports on a daily basis. So everything we build is implemented on your PDAs. And then everything can be stored on cloud if you choose to. A lot of time healthcare industry likes to own the data and not give it out. So you have an option to keep it on premises or set it to cloud. So this is really what we've been doing for 18 years, so we understand this world really well. So we can go back into your data, clean your data, update your data, do performance tuning, make sure it's performing all your dashboards and reports are performing well. So we bring a lot of knowledge doing this. We are hands-on technical people who focus on that. So that's really what we've grown up doing in the last. So we can come in as consultants to help understand what your needs are and really define what your scope is, do a proof of concept, and divide the project into different phases to make sure each phase is a success. So we implement the solutions. We design the architect, we develop on what we design, and then we maintain and support the whole solution for you. So what we built in healthcare with all that knowledge, we actually created a data model and a pre-built dashboard. So the data could be sitting anywhere, any of your sources, in your independent facilities, or it could be in a corporate facility. We pull the data out to our data model. Our model is called FTI Catalyst. We pull the data into our Catalyst data model. Now these are pre-mapped tables. So the data element is patient and DRG, or could be billing code, or pair code, or case mix. So all the data elements are stored in our data model, and that data model is expandable. We actually sell the data model to the organization, so you can actually own the data model and expand on it or change it per your need. Then we have also built metadata repository. And on top of that, we built some best practices dashboard, and I'll talk to you about that as we go along. Any questions so far?
No, I'm just making a couple notes. I'll ask some questions when you're done.
Sounds good. So as we go along, I'll talk a little bit about it. So the first piece which I've talked so far is services piece. We'll come in, understand your needs, pull the data, consolidate it, and what now I'm going to talk about is FTI Catalyst is a product. It's a pre-built data model with pre-built metadata repository and pre-built dashboard. So this solution which I'm going to talk to you about is a plug-and-play. So you can either buy, you can do piecemeal, you can say I want services Asha because I like the fact that you have this experience in data analytics, or you can say I'll just buy your data model, I don't care about your services, or you can buy it all. So everything is a piece.
How well do you think your data model, though, would provide value and meet the specifics of long-term post-acute care when it seems like the data model was built, off of the acute care? For instance, we don't dabble in DRGs.
Right, and I know that because I'm so used to talking that language, so I land up talking about it. Our data model is, we'll have to change it. We'll have to do some customization for you. So for this data model was primarily built for provider, not a long-term care. So we will use the component and the methodology, similar methodology, but we will have to tweak that data elements to the appropriate elements.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the structure is there, but the elements will have to be changed. So there will be a need for us to come in, and then we can work with you where we won't charge you for X amount of hours, to do that change for you. If you choose to buy the pre-build. You can choose not to buy the pre-build, and if you say, Asha, come in with your model, you have that knowledge, come in and build it for us. Or you can say, come in with the model, use your model, but, we won't pay you for the customization for X amount of time,
Okay.
So we can work something out together
Sure.
as we go along, right? So I'm just giving you like a concept right now, and then as we continue doing discovery, we'll understand what your needs are, and we'll figure out what is the right mix here. What can be done, all right?
All right.
So just look at it maybe more when you're looking at this data model and analyzing what we have. It'll give you you will have to convert that to make sure it addresses your needs. But it'll give you an idea about what the functionality of the product is. Make sense?
Yep.
So you'll see here, yep, there is ERG, procedures, diagnosis, patient charges, and you'll have to say, like in long-term care, I don't need DRG, but I'll need billing code, or, nurse to patient ratio, or something like that. So you'll come up with your data elements, and we'll feed that with the right data elements here.
Okay.
So the data model comes with the data elements here, and the table is customizable. So what we will say here is, okay, patient type is fine. Instead of hospital code, it will be community code. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to change the data elements here, but we give you the data model, and then we can change and create as we go along and figure out what your needs are and customize the data model for your specific needs.
Okay.
And so as I said here, you can customize the data model or add your own. You can continue going on adding what you think you would need.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the data can come from any source. So how the data model is built, it's not biased. It doesn't say that I will only work with Microsoft technology. Data model is unbiased. You can feed the data. We say that we need this element. We say, long-term facility here, FTI East or West, and based upon the data element, we pull the data elements from wherever the data elements come in. So let's say if you were working with 5 different communities or long-term cares, you'll tell them that give me the data in this format. You can either continue to load that data into our model or load it into a data mart and then consume that data to the data model and then create and put it onto the dashboard.
Okay. So
this is the dashboard you'll get with Catalyst. These are the products. They have financial dashboard, which will have productivity by service line, by physician, by payer mix, case mix. So for long-term care, you might still need a payer mix. You might still have a case mix. You might still have a charge posting, or profitability by a service line. So you might still have a lot of these elements, but there'll be some which you might want to change. In quality, mortality rate, you would still need mortality rate,
Okay.
Readmissions or diagnosis and procedures or resource utilization, you'll need that. Payroll, overtime, in staffing, you'll have staff management, workforce, turnover, and absences. Operational, you might not monitor just discharges, or you might monitor discharges, and that could be a factor or not, length of stay. But we can use this framework, which is already built for you, to go in and try to, instead of starting from scratch, now you have a model which you can plug and play.
Okay.
All right. So as we go along, I'll show you some of the dashboards. So these are screenshots, and if this is something which is an interest to you, I can give you a technical demo of the product where we can go in and play with it, and you can see how each bubble here represent a data element. So in this dashboard, it's talking about summary of per case profitability. So it says by financial class, Blue Cross, I've had, I think it's 1,000 encounters, and the length of stay is 37 days. So based upon the financial class, you can now have a number. And now on the top, there's a bubble chart, and the outliers are shown here. So you can actually click on an outlier and say which patient encounter I lost or made the most profit. The green shows the profit, the red shows the loss. And you can go to that drill down to that bubble, and look at why did I lose the money on that patient. So each bubble can take you to the next drill down, and then if you're not happy with what you see, you can further drill down. So we give some maximum of 5 drill downs in some of the reports.
Okay. All right. Good.
This is a physician profitability. Now you see each chart is very graphically engaging. It engages the user. So if you had your chief medical officer or a CFO who's not, or a head of, a service line who's not very savvy with technical data, they can just drill down into Dr. Jean Claptree. Why is she showing that she's most profitable? And you can go in and see what kind of product she's using, or maybe she's doing more surgery than the others. Again, I'm using the terminology because I'm kind of used to it. So ignore my terminology for the hospitals. But I want to give you an idea of what is possible for long-term care. We can define the data elements and create these charts for the purposes where we can drill down and look at what the encounter was, or what the patient profitability is, or physician profitability, or the pair mixes. And again, some of this will make sense for you, some of this might not make sense for you, and we can, of course, change that, and we can work out where it might not be at any charge to you. But here is a pair mix. And it can be a comparison of year to year. So if you see on top, it's a drop down to year of discharge, discharge date, month of discharge, which site. You can also compare from my long-term care 1 to long-term care 2 to 3. What is my numbers, and why are these numbers so different? And then at the bottom it talks about per case, payment, direct cost, and profit margin by financial class. This is case mix. You can talk month over month. Compare monthly case mix acuity.
Okay.
Overall case mix. This is lag in posting. Why do I have a lag, 5-day lag or more? What I have not collected and why I haven't collected this money. So one of the hospitals which is using the system, I was talking to the CFO and he said we had miscellaneous charges. The number was crazy. There was, I think, about $1 million, which was not collected because it wasn't allocated properly. So having this kind of dashboard gives you you don't have to wait for 90 days or 60 days to find the errors. Operations, this is discharge analysis. Profile of discharges, and then it can, hospital code, or, you can select the field and you can say, choose it by a financial class or by my facility which I'm looking at. Length of stay, how many discharges, by doctor, by physician, how do physicians length of stay versus, CMI compare. I'm just giving you a flavor right now, and if you like what you see, we can definitely drill down further into this. Patient census, room charge trend. Nursing unit, it gives you, this gives you day of the week.
Sure. Very neat.
Procedure analysis. So this is all created already. Again, we will have to change a little bit to make sure we are capturing all the metrics which you require. And all we have to do is change the data element in our data model. So very little work, we'll be able to customize this specifically for your needs.
Okay.
This is quality readmissions. Do readmit tend to occur after a certain number of days after discharge, and why? Readmission counts. And everything here is interactive. And the best part about this, Maria, is that if you had a user who was not a financial analyst, it was head of nursing, it is very easy to create these charts. So somebody in nursing could drag and drop and build a chart.
Okay.
Or build a report.
Good.
This is mortality. How do mortality trend over time? And if you like it, I can also get you a password. You can play with these charts and,
Sure.
we can do, this is just the first meeting. I just wanted to give you like a flavor of what we do. This is resource utilization. How do quantity use and gross revenues change over time?
Sure.
How do utilization vary by charge code? Which physician use the costly supplies on average? And that could be used for long-term care too, I'm sure,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Diagnosis and analysis, staffing module, labor distribution, payroll expense over overtime, by pay code category, pay code analysis, overtime analysis, unscheduled time off,
Sure.
workforce demographic, by hospital, by, we've actually created a new module called productivity,
Sure.
productivity trend. That would be useful for long-term.
Definitely for home health.
Exactly. So tell me if you have any questions at this point, or do you want me to continue? Just I think I just have a few more. I can show it to you by overstaff.